So if I might just introduce the final speaker for our 5th summit, Mr. Brett Goldstein. Brett. You need the clicker?
Yep. Good job. So I always find it exceptionally hard to talk after Paul. Like, Paul is this great speaker, an extrovert, and then you put me up. So bear with me as we get into the home stretch. But thank you, everyone. I find it great when it's a Friday afternoon in Nashville and folks are still here. That makes me feel like we kind of nailed it. And furthermore, I got to tell you, as you know, I've seen many of you for multiple years now. I'm feeling pretty good at this point. Thinking yesterday, General Kane, like that was just a great moment for Vanderbilt, a great moment for Nashville, and yesterday morning was a little stressful. I'll admit I got up at 4 a.m., rolled over, checked my phone, and I'm like, okay, no world emergency, no last minute message. Everything's going to be all right. And it was great, but thank you. I'm going to take a few minutes to just close us out. And, things that I think about as we are at year 5 here is I've watched this evolve. And this has become a place of real conversation. Like this year, we talked about gray zone. Like this wasn't about products. It wasn't about whatever else. It was ripping the headlines from some of our hardest issues and having real conversations in this room. And as I look around the room, I see people from commercial academia, I see mill policy, and I'm watching these connections, and it's super real. And those conversations are substantive, and then I've watched them grow year over year. New partnerships, new research, just all sorts of great. And as I've watched the conversations go, we touched on supply chain, cyber, cognitive warfare, and then today, drones, and then yesterday, sort of a rip from the headlines conversation about Iran, where I watched this intersection of econ, and then mill, and then IC. And these are the conversations we want to be having at Vanderbilt, and we want to have at our summit. So it's awesome. So people know the game I want to play now. So we are year 5. So I've done this every year. Okay, for who's who here, it's your first summit. Hands up. Got it, okay. 2, who have 2, 3, okay, we're holding 4, and then 5. Okay, keep your hands up. Okay, so look at the people who have been here for 5 years, because that lets us go down memory lane. So the first summit was like Daniel and I and our 10 friends, and you just saw them. So it is amazing how far we've come. And it's shown the growth, and we're now in this beautiful, what do people think of the pinnacle? Is this, okay. All right, so that was a big distressor as well, thank you. So really amazing how it's grown. And as we start to think about Summit 6, because I'll come up in about 15 minutes, we appreciate your help thinking through the new topics. Who else should join? What other communities we should engage? And at the same time, as Paul mentioned, there's other work we do during National Security Week. This year we had 5 academic workshops, and they were hard-hitting, real science and research. And we're bringing that to bear at Vanderbilt while also gain the broader community. So as we wrap up this one, it's already time to be thinking about 6, and myself and the team really appreciate hearing from everyone on where we go. Because as we pick topics, as we pick content and presentations, we want to nail it. And I appreciate, and I'll get to thank yous in a bit, there's a lot of hand-wringing. Like we think about every single panel, every panelist. We talk to everyone. Like Tuna and I have spent hours arguing about like, is this right? Is it off? Is it not perfect? Because we want, when you come to this, for that intense dialogue. But we appreciate hearing from everyone. So things that I like to do are, one, each year we put together who joined us. And we have some frequent flyers, but we also have lots of new folks. And we appreciate sort of the diversity of views, diversity of regions, sectors, expertise. This year was really impressed on our drone panel. We were able to have the Estonians and the Ukrainians join us. And, I was watching I hide in the back throughout this. And I was watching the feed from the Ukraine. And I'm like, wow, in the middle of combat operations, we've become interesting enough that they're able to join, engage, and offer perspectives. So thank you to everyone who participated. So thanks, thank you. Okay, and these things don't work without partners, and we very much appreciate our government partners, commercial entities, folks in the press, the whole piece. Lot of work, lot of time that's gone into this. Okay, this is the part that's important. I'd ask you to hold applause. I know you'll be tempted. I have a lot of thank yous. And what I've learned over the past 5 years is it takes a lot to put this together. And so from the Vanderbilt community, it is everyone is all in. It's anything from catering to IT to facilities to how do we pick, if I were picking the right colors here, it would just, the tables, all these issues. We have a comms team in the back. We have our comms team here. It is an all of campus effort. And the fun part is at Vanderbilt, you just call it Summit. And it's become that over the past few years. Yep, we're focused on Summit, and that is our summit, and all of the community works on this. So all these folks, we very, very much appreciate your partnership and your support. There's a few folks I want to call out. So first off, the Asness family. So grateful for the support of the summit. After years of proving the concept and getting folks involved, the Asness' support is invaluable, and we're honored that you made this choice. It means a lot, and it's critical both to us at Vanderbilt, but also the national security community. Very meaningful. 2, the Chancellor and the Provost. So this was an early project that was very much supported by both of them, and their support has absolutely been invaluable, and I don't know if Dawn Turton is still here, but the Chief of Staff, who is able to make all the things happen, just amazing. Other folks, obviously, who are critical to making this happen, Paul Nakasone, Doug Adams, Institute Leadership, thank you. The Sunday phone calls, all of the different issues, or, I'm fortunate Doug wakes up at 4:30 in the morning, which makes it very convenient, whatever time zone I'm in. Great support. Dean Krish, I don't know if he's still here, the Dean of Engineering. Couple people to talk about, Nilu and Tiffany. So Nilu's been working on this for years, and just an absolutely amazing moderator, just with the context and just so smooth. I watch her and I'm like, I could never do that. But she's crushed it for multiple years. And Tiffany, wherever you're hiding, I was just in the back with my wife and I'm like, wow, that was just such a great day and so smart, so insightful. So thank you for joining us this year. One I want to call out in the middle of this is the VUPD. So when you call up and you say, hey, we have a different type of guest this year, and I know the former director of the NSA is a big deal, but there's this other dude called the chairman, and he brings a lot of cars. And my God, the chief and the VUPD, they just worked it. Like, we sat down with them and they worked all the angles and they got federal partners, everyone involved. And it was an immense effort. And, you know, as Nashville sort of pivoted to accept the chairman, and that is very, very much appreciated. And as I noted, on our federal partners, like we have a great relationship with the local FBI. Everyone stepped in, so thank you to them. Other notes. So, colleagues and teammates from multiple prior lives. In the months coming up to Summit, I start getting phone calls. Do you need cyber overwatch? I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. Do you need help moving chairs? Do you need help with speakers? I know a random dude who can help, or there's a dudette in New Zealand who might be good. All these folks come together and just make things happen. And one that's particularly fun is some of you might remember my Ghibli fun from last year, where I was able to create Paul Nakasone Ghiblis based on Sam Altman's tweet. But my old teammate Alex Romero has made a whole new set of these, which if anyone's curious, I would find them before you leave, and I'm afraid to put them on the screen. But Roro is here. But so many people in both in the national security community and past colleagues are invested in this summit. So much, really appreciate that. Within the Institute, I want to call out a few people, and then we'll close this out. So Will, who works at the Wicked Problems Lab and deals with my antics every single day, much appreciated for the summit surge. And then for those of you who haven't met Trish yet, who I'm looking at, and you can raise your hand, Trish. So she's our new Director of Innovation. So if you haven't met her at the Institute, you definitely should. But others who have surged along the way, Haley, McKenna, Ian, Carlos, Don, Clavon, Elias, Kathleen, Megan. The whole team came together, and you've watched all these little things happening, and it's just been a great, great outcome, coupled with our amazing students who are part of the Institute and just impress all of us every day. Lastly, actually not really, a couple more. The production crew from Tangible Vision, like they have just been great this year. Like it's been smooth, it's been great, so thanks to the team. I'd like to call out my research colleague, Brett Benson, for, as you saw us on the panel, as we continue to find new ways to, I guess, find interesting things that are occurring out there. And our friends in the press, very impressed this year. Great turnout there. Appreciate the interest in the topics and the round tables. And then three more. One, Claudia, our Director of Operations at the Institute, who has dealt, right there. So Claudia has dealt with everything in making this happen, and she and I have now done this for multiple years. So thank you for the partnership on this. It has been critical to make this happen. And then my wife, Sarah, who is hiding all the way in the back, who has dealt with 5 summits and all of the, why aren't you sleeping? It's Summit. And it's great, so thank you, Sarah. And then my last call out, and who really, really deserves a round of applause, is Brayton. So Summit Coordinator this year, Brayton Johns, he has done so much to make this happen. And for all my, we can call it intensity, he has been calm and smooth, and he got it done, and he held all the pieces together. So please join me in thanking everyone. Okay, so the good news is we have dates for next year. So we are looking at April 15th and 16th. And so we are excited about Summit 6. Those are the dates. Hold them on your calendar. I'd say I'd give you a full agenda later today, but that will probably not come till Monday. And we're really, really excited to have the opportunity to welcome you back to Nashville and discuss some of these issues that are critical to our time. So thank you again. We hope you enjoy your time in Nashville. Have a good day.